It's funny you say this, and this is going to be anecdotal, and you're going to get mad. You're going to say, why are you even looking at Twitter to begin with? But I will say, for some reason, I either follow or I see a lot of tweets from Lynx fans.
Yeah.
And they freak out after every loss. Like every time they lose, they're like, oh my, like they lost last week.
What happens when a young girl from Germany, raised thousands of miles away from basketball's brightest stage, grows into one of the most unstoppable forces in the WNBA? You get Satou Sabally, nicknamed the Unicorn, a player who refuses to fit into anyone's box. She's not just tall, not just skilled, not just athletic. She's rewriting what it means to dominate the women's game. But here's the twist. Sabally's rise hasn't been smooth. She's been questioned, doubted, and overlooked. Injuries slowed her down. Critics wondered if she'd ever live up to her top draft pick status. And yet, here she is, an all-star starter, the 2023 most improved player, and the engine powering the Dallas Wings into contention. This is not just another prospect finally delivers story.
Courtney missed the layup at the end. And it was like, yeah, guys, you're 32-8. Like, look where you...
Record-setting season. Yeah.
Vegas have won 12 in a row, and they're 6 games back from you.
Yeah.
Like, you're 32-8, and Fee missed what you missed. 8-9 games?
10 games. I think she ended up missing
10 games. It's still, but it's like, I mean, I guess that's the sign that you've made it. It's like you're the Yankees. It's like every loss becomes dramatic.
Yeah. That's the world of, that's fandom.
This is about a German-born baller who grew up with soccer fields around her, who didn't even start organized basketball until she was 9, and who still turned herself into one of the league's most dangerous weapons. The WNBA is filled with stars, but Satou Sabally shines differently. She's versatile, fiery, and unapologetically confident. When she steps on the court, she plays with a swagger that says, I belong here, and I'm here to stay. And now, fans and analysts are asking the big question, is Satou Sabally the key to the next WNBA powerhouse, or will her journey be defined by the battles she still has to fight?
To that point, because we talked about this the other day, and Mel brought this up to us on the text earlier this week, I wanted to get your perspective on the Liberty. They're 24-17, 8.5 back. They lost, like you mentioned, they lost last night to the Valkyries, lost the last 2 games on this road trip. Obviously, they're in a good spot for the playoffs. Is there any concern with anything you're seeing?
Both on the hardwood and in the shadows of doubters. Stay locked in, because this story isn't just about basketball. It's about identity, resilience, and a young woman daring to carry the weight of expectations across 2 continents. Before Satou Sabally was carving up WNBA defenses, she was just a kid in Berlin, Germany, where basketball wasn't even the first sport on people's minds. Soccer dominated the culture, and for Satou, it was the first game she ever played. But something changed when she picked up a basketball on a playground. Her size, her coordination, her energy. It was like the game had been waiting for her all along.
To that point, because we talked about this the other day, and Mel brought this up to us on the text earlier this week, I wanted to get your perspective on the Liberty. They're 24-17, 8.5 back. They lost, like you mentioned, they lost last night to the Valkyries, lost the last 2 games on this road trip. Obviously, they're in a good spot for the playoffs. Is there any concern with anything you're seeing?
So the only concern is
by the time she was a teenager, coaches were stunned by her raw talent. Imagine this, a young girl, barely old enough to drive, already standing 6'4" with guard skills. That's when people started whispering the word unicorn. But Satou wasn't just gifted physically, she was competitive to the core. But with hype comes pressure. When the Dallas Wings drafted her number 2 overall in 2020, the expectations were sky high. Fans wanted results immediately. Instead, injuries stalled her career, and critics started questioning if she was worth the pick. That's what makes her resurgence even more dramatic.
So a big part of injuries mid-season, it's like, first of all, it's really hard as an individual to stay like in game rhythm yourself individually when you're out during the season. Because then when you come back, you're trying to do it in real time. So you need games to do that. So are they running out of games to get Stewie back going, to get, JJ back going? Sabrina, Niara have been out. So to get them just going individually, right? So are they running out of real estate there? And then are they running out of real estate in terms of like the team cohesion? I actually think
Satou Sabally isn't just proving she belongs, she's proving she can lead. From the streets of Berlin to the bright lights of the W, her journey is already legendary. So how exactly did Satou Sabally go from promising but inconsistent to one of the most unstoppable forces in the WNBA? The answer: work, resilience, and an edge that separates stars from superstars. superstars. After battling injuries her first couple of seasons, Satou could have easily faded into the "what could have been" category. But instead, she doubled down. She reshaped her body, sharpened her game, and built a mindset that screamed dominance. The nickname Unicorn wasn't just about her size and versatility. It was about being one of one. A player who can post up like a forward, attack off the dribble like a guard, and defend across multiple positions. And then came 2023, a year where everything finally clicked. Satou not only stayed healthy, she became the engine of the Dallas Wings. Her scoring jumped, her playmaking improved, and her leadership began to shine through. Suddenly, the Wings weren't just a scrappy young team. They were a legitimate playoff threat, and Sabally was the reason why. But what really separates her? It's the edge. Off the court, she embraces the idea of being a unicorn, encouraging kids to find their own uniqueness. On the court, though, she's ruthless. She calls it her dominant alter ego, a switch that flips when the ball tips. That balance between inspiration and intimidation is what makes her so magnetic. For years, the WNBA was waiting to see if Satou could rise to her potential. Now, there's no more waiting. She's here, she's healthy, and she's a problem for anyone standing in her way. Here's where the drama really takes off. Because Satou Sabally's rise hasn't just been about highlight reels and box scores. It's been about the narrative tug-of-war that defines every WNBA season. On one side, you've got A'ja Wilson, the reigning queen, the face of the Aces, and And don't forget, this whole thing circles back to Vegas versus Minnesota. The Aces looked vulnerable at times, even getting blown out by 50 against the Lynx. Guess who was standing tall after that humiliation? Satou in Minnesota, turning the tables and flipping the script. That loss might have been the shock to the system Vegas needed, but it also showed the league that the Lynx, led by Satou, are not just spoilers, they're contenders. This isn't just a debate over stats, it's about momentum. Who finishes the season stronger? Who carries their team deeper into the playoffs? Who looks like the face of the league when the lights burn brightest? That's the fuel. That's the fire. And that's why the MVP race isn't just about numbers, it's about narrative. And right now, Satou Sabally is at the heart of it. To understand Satou Sabally's dominance, you've got to go back to where it all started, Berlin, Germany. Picture this, a young girl on a playground with her sister, tall enough to catch a coach's eye from across the court. No AAU circuit, no ESPN highlight tapes, just raw talent, spotted by chance. That moment changed everything. At 9 years old, Satou didn't even know the rules of the game. But what she did know was the feeling, the thrill of catching the ball, the challenge of dribbling, the nervous excitement of competition. That spark never left her. Even as a pro, she still chases that same feeling every time she steps on the court. But here's what makes her different. Satou has always carried a dual identity. Off the court, she embraces the unicorn nickname, an inspiration for little girls who see themselves in her, proof that you can be unique, graceful, and powerful all at once. On the court, though, she flips the switch. That unicorn turns into something fierce, an alter ego that thrives on dominance. She's not just out there to play, she's out there to own the game. Her path wasn't easy. Playing on all boys teams in Germany toughened her up. Coming to the US, adjusting to Oregon, the WNBA, and the constant injuries tested her resilience. Most players would have broken. Satou built herself stronger. She turned pain into fuel, setbacks into comebacks. And now, you see the result. A player who embodies versatility, leadership, and fight. A woman who can inspire with a smile off the court. For years, the conversation has revolved around familiar names. A'ja Wilson, Breanna Stewart, Candace Parker before them. Legends who defined eras. But Satou represents something different. She's international, born in Germany, with roots that make her a global ambassador for the game. That matters. The WNBA has been pushing for growth overseas, and Satou is the perfect face for that mission. She's proof that the league is no longer just an American stage, it's a worldwide showcase. And then there's the cultural impact. Satou wears unicorn proudly, but she doesn't just keep it for herself. She tells young girls, "You have a unicorn inside you too." That message resonates. It's not about being a copy of someone else. It's about owning your uniqueness, whether that's on a basketball court or anywhere in life. On the floor, her dominance gives the Dallas Wings an identity they've been searching for. No longer are they the team with potential or future stars. With Satou at the helm, they're a team with expectations, a team that demands respect. That shift changes how opponents prepare, how coaches strategize, and how fans watch. And for the league, a star like Satou is gold. She brings charisma, international flair, and a game that sells highlights. In a league that's finally getting the attention it deserves, Satou Sabally might just be one of the players who helps push it over the edge, from niche to mainstream, from underdog to undeniable. Her rise isn't just about an MVP race, it's about redefining what the future of the WNBA looks like. At the end of the day, Satou Sabally's story isn't just about basketball, it's about transformation. It's about a player who was once labeled inconsistent, now standing tall as one of the most dominant forces in the WNBA. It's about resilience, about rewriting the script when everyone else thought they already knew the ending. Think about it. 6 games missed early in the year could have buried her MVP chances. Injuries could have derailed her career. Doubters could have defined her legacy. But Satou refused to let any of that stick. Instead, she's turned those obstacles into fuel, proving not only that she belongs, but that she belongs at the very top. And that's what makes this moment so powerful. Because we're not just witnessing a breakout season. The MVP debate will rage on. A'ja Wilson, Breanna Stewart, Napheesa Collier, those names will always command respect. But Satou Sabally has forced her way into that conversation, and she's not going anywhere. The WNBA isn't just in the middle of a season, it's in the middle of a shift. And Satou, she's leading the charge. So the question now is simple. Are we ready? Are we ready to embrace the new era, to put respect on Satou's name, and to recognize that the unicorn has become a beast? If you believe Satou Sabally deserves to be in the MVP conversation, smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the biggest WNBA stories. This is just the beginning.